Hello, Amber team. It's Mr. Hanson. Sorry I can't be with you guys this week. As you're aware, I told you last Friday I have an opportunity to take my kids down to Disney World for the long holiday week. So that's where I'm at. While I'm gone, you guys are going to be working on a Webquest in ancient Greece. As you are aware, we've been spending the last several weeks on the early civilizations of ancient Egypt, the Fertile Crescent of Mesopotamia, ancient India, and ancient China. Today we're going to start looking at ancient Greece through a web quest. This is kind of where you're going to get all your notes and information over the next couple days. We'll be in the lab today or Monday and Tuesday, and then when we get back from break, the Monday and Tuesday after break as well. What I'd like to have you take a look at is this sheet, Ancient Greece Web Quest. It's just a one-pager. It kind of gives you an outline of what the project will entail. To better understand what life was like in ancient Greece, you will take a virtual tour through a website created by the British Museum. Beginning by visiting the site, http www.ancientgreece.co.uk. I actually have a link to this on my website, which I'm going to show you in a minute. You'll notice that the website is divided into 10 chapters. Although there are 10 chapters, you will only be researching 6 of them. Each chapter has 3 sections: a story section, an explore section, and a challenge section. You'll be spending most of your time working in the story and explore areas of these sections. The story section will give you information on the section in a narrative form, whereas the explore section gives the same information in an interactive way. The challenge section, I encourage you to take a look at, but I would rather have you wait until the end and do it when you have time. It gives you games and like interactive puzzles and things like that. I think you can put a temple together in one and go underwater and do some type of game and collect artifacts in another. So it's great stuff. If you get done with everything else, by all means take a look at it. For each chapter, you'll be given a packet of information that you must find by exploring that particular chapter. There are 3 packets total to complete. After you complete one, you will then receive the next one until you are finished. Some of the questions in the packet may ask you to make comparisons with what is taking place today. In those instances, you'll need to look at other resources on the internet to completely answer those questions. To begin, visit my website where I'll have links to the British Museum website on ancient Greece, as well as other relevant sites that may be of assistance for this activity. Before you get there on Monday, I'll have one for the Olympics. I'm going to just go to take the Olympics, theolympics.org or olympic.org. And it's just a site on the Olympics because you're going to be comparing and contrasting the ancient Olympics with the modern day Olympics. And another site is going to be on our U.S. government and how it compares to the government in Athens and during the time of ancient Greece and ancient Athens. So this is just, like I said, it's just a little bit of an outline of what the WebQuest will be. So let's go take a look at the site itself. So for my website, and I'll have this over here, it'll say ancient Greece. You're going to click on this and you'll click on website. You'll go there, and this is what the ancient Greece website from the British Museum looks like. As you can see, these are the 10 chapters: the Acropolis, Athens, daily life, festivals and games, geography, gods and goddesses, knowledge and learning, Sparta, time and war. I have chosen just a few of those. You're going to be looking at the Acropolis as the first packet you're going to fill out. Then I've combined Athens and Sparta together in one, and then festivals, gods and goddesses, and war in the third one. So I'm just going to show you what this kind of looks like by going to one first, the one that you're not going to be looking at in depth, and that's the geography one. So it gives you some basic information on geography. For example, it says here, mainland Greece is a mountainous land almost completely surrounded by the Mediterranean Sea. Greece has more than 1,400 islands. The country has mild winters and long, hot, and dry summers. The ancient Greeks were a seafaring people. They traded with other countries around the Mediterranean. Many cities created settlements overseas known as colonies. Greek cities were founded around the Black Sea, North Africa, Italy, Sicily, France, and Spain. Many tales and legends grew up about the strange lands and creatures that could be found across the sea. Now down here is where I talked about on the information sheet, the outline sheet, that says there's 3 sections to each chapter. So you'll have a story section, an explore section, and a challenge section. So when we look at the story section, in this particular case, it's taking to the story of the Odyssey. Some of you may have heard about the Odyssey. It was written by Homer. Pretty adventurous type of book, but this kind of takes you through some of it, and I don't believe it goes word through word, but if you go through it, it gives you some animation, and it also comes up with some notes. So you click on this and it gives you a little bit more information about where this took place, or like Greeks win the Trojan War. What was the Trojan War? Well, it gives you information on the Trojan War pops up over here. So that's one example of how the story section plays out. But if you were to go back and click on the Explore section, in this particular case, it's going to show you a map because this is the geography chapter. So if you look at this, you can zoom in and out. And then if you just press down with your mouse and click and grab, you can move it around a little bit. And if you click on, I guess it doesn't let you click on the sites at all. All right, but the other cool thing on this one is that you can look at different maps of ancient Greece. So that was a classical Greece map. Here are important religious sites. So you've got Olympia and Delphi. Let's see if you click on that. Yeah. So it tells you about the Oracle of Apollo here. So, some information about that. That might help you a little bit with one of your packets. I think it talks about the gods and goddesses. But Olympia, the Olympic Games were held here in honor of Zeus. So feel free to explore this in more detail later on your own. Natural resources. So if you zoom in a little bit, you can see that Greece has lots of natural resources. Iron, tin, gold, copper, silver, I believe I see, yeah. And kind of gives you the deposits all over there. Then modern political Greece gives you different, you can't click on these, different political breakdowns, modern times. Colonies. This map shows colonies. A colony is set up abroad by the citizens of a city-state. The original city-state is called the mother city. Some colonies in turn set up their own colonies. We're going to be doing a thing when we get back from Thanksgiving break on the city-states. And here they are listed. Here's Athens and Sparta, which you're going to be looking at a little bit more closely through the Webquest. But if you click on these, it kind of gives you some more information where it was. Corinth. And it just breaks them kind of down by where they were. As you can see, they are spread out across the Mediterranean. So that's the city-state one, or the colonies. Myth map, so some of the stuff that goes with the myths. We are going to be looking at Greek mythology and the gods and goddesses of Greek mythology and their cool stories behind them. So if any of you have read Percy Jackson and The Lightning Thief or any of that series, we're going to be looking at some of those gods and goddesses and doing an activity with them too when we get back from break. And then modern political territories. So this gives you an idea. Here's Italy in relationship to Greece. I don't know how much you're following modern or current events in Greece, but their economy is just in horrible shape. And for a small country, it's having a huge impact on the world economy, as well as, more specifically, the European economy with the euro. So that's been in the news a lot lately. But anyway, this is just an example of how to navigate the chapters. If we clicked it on challenge on this one, oh, this is underwater archaeology, so this is the game part, But again, I know I even hesitate showing you this, but this is the stuff that you should come back to when you are finished with your work. So come back if you're done. Otherwise, do it on your own time. So that is the background of how these chapters look like. In my next screencast, I'll show you how the Acropolis packet looks like and what to do with that one. So that's it. Enjoy your time in the lab.